Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. Now this time I'm going to rank the singles of XTC from 1977 to the year 2000. Now they've had 32 singles, although there's 4 other singles which I could include if I had them, but I don't have them, so I'm not going to include them. And they are, firstly, there's a track from Nonsuch which was withdrawn as a single called Wrapped in Grey. You'll find it on the Fossil Fuel double CD, fantastic CD by the way. So it's not included. I'm also not including the single by the Three Wise Men in 1983 called Thanks for Christmas. This is a really good song, and in fact it actually does manage to get over the first hurdle for a Christmas song. It does sound Christmassy and it's really good. The other two I'm not going to include are the two by the Dukes of Stratosphere. The first one being, what's it called, The Mole from the Ministry, from this sort of 12-inch single mini album. Very psychedelic. It just reminds me of Strawberry Fields Forever, parts of it anyway, but it is actually pretty good. And the other one is You're a Good Man, Albert Brown, from Sonic Sunspot, their second album, and this is almost like a Cockney Knees Up, and I think it's a fantastic little number, but it'll be so difficult to put them in order with the rest of the XTC singles. Okay, so 32 singles in all. There's one I don't have, which I'm going to have to show a B-side for it, and any XTC fan will know exactly what song I'm talking about. Okay, most of these are in 7-inch single. There's a couple of 12 inches and a few CD singles. But before I start, I must say this was really difficult because of all these 32 songs, I like every one of them. There's none I dislike. At their worst, they're good, and at their best, they're excellent. And it's very, very difficult to put them in some sort of order, but I think I've managed it. Well, we shall see. Okay, starting off at number 32, and it's from the Oranges and Lemons album, written by Colin Moulding. It's King for a Day. I do like this, but there's not a lot to it. It's the music is very good, but there's not much else structure to it. It's very similar throughout the whole of the song, and although it's good, it's right bang at the bottom of my list. At number 31, I'm from 1980, and it is Wait Till Your Boat Comes Down, or Goes Down. And yeah, this is okay. This was the follow-up to Making Plans for Nigel. It was a slight disappointment. It's an alright song, but it's not fantastic. I do like it, but it's a non-LP single, which is good to have, but they've done better, put it that way. So that gets my number 31. At number 30 we have the Colin Moulding song Wake Up, and this is from the Big Express, I believe. Yeah, very jerky song. It's quite similar in a way to one of his others called Ball and Chain, but it's not as good. I remember buying this out of the cheapie box back in 1985 because it was XTC playing it and thinking it was absolute tripe. But I do actually really like it, but it still only manages to get my number 30. And number 29, and this is a shared single with the Ruts, and this is Take This Town. The other side is the Ruts' Babylon's Burning. This is actually from a soundtrack which I can't read. I'm not too sure which one it is, but yeah, it's a cheeky little number. It's quite simple. It is probably what they would call a throwaway song, but you know, with the whoa whoa whoas in it as well, it's actually quite catchy and I do enjoy it, but it only gets number 29. At 28 we have from the Apple Venus album, and it is Easter Theatre. I do like this, but it's not a fantastic single. It starts off pretty weird and it goes into a pretty good chorus, but it's one that I would need to listen to a little bit more. I only recently acquired this CD. There's a couple extra songs on it. Yeah, it's alright, and it gets my number 28. And at number 27, and it is This World Over from 1984, and this is from the Big Express. Yeah, this is a good song, but it's not a fantastic single. It's quite moody, it's quite unmelodic, but it's very atmospheric, and I do really enjoy it. And this is a single that you get so many postcards with it, which I've never ever taken apart, so it's in pretty good nick. So This World Over gets my number 27. And number 26, and from the Mummer album from 1983, it's Wonderland, and this Colin Moulding song, and this is dreamy. This is very summery actually. It does remind me of the summer of 1983. It has got that 1983 sound. It's funny, 1983 has got a musical sound of its own for some reason. I don't know why. All the songs from that time automatically take me back. So number 26, Wonderland. And number 25, and from 1978, and this is Pop, and this is from their debut album. Yeah, this is good. This is actually a re-recorded version, which is better than the LP version, but it's one of their weaker, of their very early ones. I do enjoy it, but this is Pop, but tends to grate a little bit, but I still do like it, and that gets 25. And number 24, from the Lost Star album, and it is I'm the Man Who Murdered Love, and it's quite a basic song. It's quite simple, but I think it's really effective. I really enjoy it, especially the chorus, especially the vocals in the chorus, and it gets number 24. At number 23, and from the Non Such album in 1992, is the Ballad of Peter Pumpkinhead, which, yeah, again, it's very basic for XTC. A lot of XTC songs go off on a tangent. They have got weird melodies and very weird chord structures. This is very almost generic with harmonica. It's a really good song, but it maybe lacks that little bit of spark that some of Andy Partridge's songs actually had. Some of his songs are very difficult to listen to. This is extremely easy to listen to, but whenever you get something like this, you miss the edginess of some of his other work. And at number 22, from the Apple Venus album, and this I Like That, and this is like a little summer acoustic-y song about cycling down country lanes and so forth. Very English, and it's just really, really good. Enjoy it. So I guess number 22. Now at 21, I'm going to have to show a single, which is not, I have to show the B-side actually. Now this is the single Grass, and on the B-side was a song called Dear God, and it was then issued as a single in its own right. It was supposed to be on Skylarking, and then Andy Partridge took it off because of the lyrical content. It's like an anti-religious song, and I believe college radios in America took up on it, enjoyed it, and it got an official release, and it's now added to all the reissues of Skylarking. I like it. I do like the little kid's voice at the start. I think it's really good. It's a little folky, it's a little bit generic again, nothing spectacular, but it's a good song, and it gets my number 21. And at 20, and we have from 1989 from the Oranges and Lemons, and it's The Mayor of Simpleton, and again this is a bit like Peter Pumpkinhead. It's a good catchy song, good melody, and it's probably the best song off that album, so that gets my number 20. And number 19, and we have from 1983 from the Mummer album, and it's Great Fire. Now I got this again, I think I got this from Oldies Unlimited in the late 80s whenever I bought something like 10 singles for £1 potluck, and this was one of them. Played it, I thought it was rubbish again. It's a very difficult song to get into. As I say, the melodies are very jerky, and he does go off on a tangent a bit, but you know, if you stick with it, it turns out to be a pretty good song, and that gets my number 19. I will say about XTC, with the two songwriters, Andy Partridge would take about 65 to 70% of the songs, where Colin Moulding would take the rest. Andy Partridge I always looked at as like a Lindsey Buckingham to be experimental, and Colin Moulding as a Christine McVie to calm things down, and the two of them work really well. So anyway, Great Fire, number 19. At number 18, and we'll show this single again, and this is from the Skylarking album. It's called Moulding Song, and it's Grass, and a bit like Wonderland, it is quite a dreamy song, so Grass gets my number 18. At number 17, and another colour moulding single. We had a lot of singles, and it's the second single from English Settlement, and it's Ball and Chain. Now this is a song that I think Wake Up sounds a bit like, but not as good as. This is a really, really good track. It deserved to do much better. I don't even think it charted. Well, it didn't get top 40 anyway, and it was Follow Up the Senses working overtime, and it deserved much better. And at number 16, and we have another 12-inch single, and this is also from Skylarking, and this is The Meeting Place. Now I really love this, especially the brrrms in the middle of it, or throughout the verses actually, and the chorus itself is maybe a little bit clunky, and this too is called a moulding song, but I think it is really, really good, so that gets my number 16. And number 15 and 14 I always group together and always get the two of them mixed up. 15 is The Disappointed, and this is the best song from Nonsuch. Very catchy. It is quite well, not generic, it's a very accessible XTC single and very sing-alongable, as I always like to say. Really good, and that gives my number 15. And number 14, this is from Oranges and Lemons, and this is actually the best single, not Mary Simpleton, and this is The Loving, and this is similar in a way to Disappointed, as it is a very catchy sing-along song, and yeah, very, very good. Gets 14. At number 13, and we have from 1978, and it's from their debut album, and it's Statue of Liberty. Yeah, really good new wave song. Quite jerky, but actually quite catchy as well, and it gets number 13. And number 12, their second biggest hit, and it's Sergeant Rock Is Going to Help Me from Black Sea. Yeah, I remember this came out at the very end of 1980, and I remember taping it off Radio 1 and thinking it was okay, but I always loved the bit, if I could only be tough like him, then I could win my own small battle of the sexes. Always loved that. The rest of the song I do enjoy. It's going up in my estimations, yeah, Sergeant Rock, number 12. I know a lot of XTC fans aren't that keen on this, but I think it's pretty damn good. And at number 11 from 1983, we have the acoustic Love on a Farm Boy's Wages from the Mummer album. Always liked this, remember it in the charts. I think it just managed to scrape the top 50, but I think they expected this to do much better, but it didn't. But very good, and an excellent double pack with fantastic B-sides as well. So Love on a Farm Boy's Wages gets my number 11. And number 10, Colour Moulding, Life Begins at the Hop. Very good song. This is a standalone single, I believe. I think it may have featured on the US version of Drums and Wires. Yeah, it's got a start reminiscent of the Rolling Stones, Under My Thumb, but it's a really, really good song, and it gets number 10. At number 9, and another double pack, and this is from Black Sea, and it's Towers of London. Now, I love this. If I had done this 10 years ago, this would have been my number one choice. It has gone down a little bit, and I remember seeing a documentary years ago around the time of Black Sea, and this on XTC, and they showed them recording this in the studio, and I thought it was an absolutely magnificent song. Yeah, but I've overplayed it, so I have, and that gets my number 9. A number 8, one that has gone up in my estimations, and it is from the English Settlement album, and it's No Thugs in Our House, and the vocals in this are brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He really lets them rip. Yeah, fantastic vocals, and it is quite jerky and edgy, the song as well, and it's very loud, you know, even if you have it a low, it's very loud in the ears. Really good song, and I guess my number 8. At number 7, and from Black Sea in 1981 this was released, and it's Respectable Street, and this is the one that did the least in the charts from that album. It's an absolutely fantastic song and a brilliant way to open the album. Number 6 from 1978, and another standalone single, and it's Are You Receiving Me, and this is a fantastic new wave number, catchy as hell, and yeah, brilliant, and gets my number 6. Number 5 from 1984 from The Big Express, and I know some XTC fans don't like this one either, but I love it, and it's All You Pretty Girls, and it's like one of those sea shanties whenever they're singing. I think it's magnificent. I bought this at the time, I loved it that much. Absolutely brilliant. Catchy as hell, and wasn't a big hit though. I don't even think it managed the top 40. So that gets my number 5. And at number 4 is their debut, which was released and then withdrawn as a single, so it came out on a 12-inch EP called 3D, and the opening track is Science Friction. And this is a jerky little number, but it's a fantastic new wave song, and any new wave collection should have this on it because it is brilliant. Great way to open a career. It's a pity it wasn't on their first album. It came as a bonus track on the CDs, but it really should have been on the first album as well. So Science Friction gets my number 4, which leaves the top 3, and 3 of their biggest hits. At number 3, and it's from Drums and Wires, and it's Making Plans for Nigel, the Colin Moulding song. Really good, got to number 17 in the charts and put them on the map. Yeah, excellent song, and again it was Colin Moulding, it wasn't Andy Partridge. So I've seen Top of Pops appearances for this as well. Very good song from Drums and Wires. And at number 2, another Colin Moulding song, and from the Black Sea, and it's Generals and Majors from 1980. It's another double pack. They were really good with their singles, XTC. They mustn't have made much money off them because none of them sold very well. But yeah, this is excellent, and I got to number 32 in the charts, and this deserved to be much higher. Real catchy number, and yeah, it really does show, you know, that the Colin Moulding songs really do complement the Andy Partridge ones, even though they're so different. They really do complement them well. So number 2, Generals and Majors. And my favourite XTC single, and it's their biggest hit, and it's their only top 10, and it's great to number 10 in 1982, and it is Senses Working Overtime. And this is really a perfect pop song. Starts off with the picking of the guitar, and then it goes into one of the catchiest choruses ever. But it's not twee, the chorus, it's just brilliant, and absolutely love it. And I do prefer the single version to the LP version. It's slightly longer with more lines in it, which just don't work as well. Maybe it's because I knew this one from the off. You know, I've had this since 1982 when it was in the charts. Brilliant song, and it gets my number 1. Okay, so that's my look at the XTC singles from 1977 to 2000. XTC are a band a little bit like Talking Heads. If you're in the mood for them, they're the best band in the world. If you're not in the mood for them, they can be quite unbearable to listen to. Well, I just find that anyway. And at the moment, I played all those. I made actually a data CD to play in the car on the way to work of all the singles, and I enjoyed every single one of them, and so I'm getting back into XTC again. Okay, that's me for now. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.